Welcome everyone. Hi, I'm Venkat. As you are aware, I am an aspiring strategic consulting. In my normal, apart from my normal working hours, I really get into the data of many publicly available information of the company, and I try to understand the positives and negatives, and whether they are strategically well placed, and what are the turnaround aspects they can explore. This is what I'm doing. So, as part of this, in today's discussion or a kind of point of view podcast, I have brought out uh, my point of view on a company named Expertrons. So, this particular company is into edutech sector, right? So, I'm going to they are offering franchisee option for people. So I'm going to help you understand what are the finer points to be considered and to be looked into and to be appreciated before you invest your hard-earned money into this particular company as a franchisee partner, right? So this is the whole idea behind this entire discussion or the entire screen time I'm going to have with you. This video will be published in YouTube as well as in LinkedIn. So please provide your feedback. So let me quickly move into the session. So the first one, Expertrons, as we are calling, is a company which is primarily into edutech. They are offering industry skills to the outgoing final year students, and not limited to final year students, but primarily they really very much, I mean, appeal to the final year students because they need to get a job. The final year students must be placed. So definitely getting industry skills is most important aspect for them actually, right? So they are primarily into B2C. They are also claiming to be part of B2B. So I will come out with my point of view regarding that. And they are offering franchisee model, and it covers the entire India market, right? So there are finer things about their entire, aspects, what they are providing, right? So I will take you through one by one. So moving on, the founders are Jatin Solanki and Vivek Gupta. Uh, the, both are the engineering graduates from IITs. So they are well established, and they have done a certain good job in the past also. So I will take you through all that. And very recently, the company Expertrons that we are talking about has done a kind of acquisition of a company named Foxmula. So Foxmula is a company which is providing self-paced online learning for students. They have already reached more than 10K people actually, and they're quite famous. And this particular company was acquired by Expertrons because Expertrons thinks that this company can bring in the needed competency, right, for Expertron. So this is a value addition for them actually, and Expertron is bound to get benefited through the synergy between Expertrons and Foxmura, right? So that's the whole point behind this acquisition. And then as well, Expertron, since it's a growing company, it has gone into MOU with several industry stalwarts with respect to providing jobs as well as with several educational institutions in order to provide industry skill based courses to the students actually. And uh, more and the Expertrons has gone through several rounds of funding, and as well as it has also got angel funding in the past. So it has received overall investments from 109 entities. Out of that, it's a good composition of institutions as well as angels, right? So this is what I can say their um, Expertrons. And moving on, this founder profile, Jatin Solanki, he is basically from IIT Bombay. He has completed his BTech in civil engineering, and he has his previous venture Edufin. In that, he got invited to the entrepreneurship meet, which is well attended by Sri Narendra Modi as well as Miss Trump. And he's also having an MOU with the Maharashtra government to provide gamified learning for 16 Eklavya schools over there. He's an avid swimmer and TED speaker, and is also a short filmmaker, and he has done quite a bit of publications, and he has also run quite a bit of companies in the past, actually, which we'll be discussing in detail overall. And moving on, we are talking about the second founder, the co-founder, who is Vivek Gupta. Vivek Gupta is a uh, BTech from IIT Bombay. He has completed his metallurgical engineering, and his previous venture, it Plances, was a successful exit after 7 years. I will also talk about that. And they got acquired by a public limited company. And basically, if you take up Vivek Gupta is famous. I mean, he has been uh, a second runners-up in the Global Student Entrepreneur Award, and also he has done quite a bit of publications. The publications links are provided here actually. So this is about the profile. So the founders are quite well established, right? And moving on, this company has got 6.5 million US dollar as funding, and post the recent funding they have received, this company has got a post money valuation of 29.1 million US dollars. So post money valuation is nothing but after the recent funding, what is the valuation of the company. So this is the perceived valuation of the investors. And right now the company is having 56 employees, and the company has achieved a revenue of 1.8 million US dollars revenue as of 2022 to 2023. This is the revenue they have got, and where I have taken these data, I have taken it from a website named TrackXN, right? So thank you so much, TrackXN, for the valuable financial input as well as the kind of acquisition information that I have received. That has given a lot of insights to me. Thank you so much. Your data has been pretty useful to me. So thank you, TrackXN, for your support. And coming back, they have achieved a net profit of minus $1.77 million in the year 2022 to 23. And the major competitors of Expertrons are EDX, Coursera, Emeritus, Wiley, Upgrade, Udemy, right? So great learning. So likewise, they are having 1,253 competitors within India, both established and non-established major and micro enterprises to compete with. So this is the data. And the business opportunity at hand is basically Expertron is offering franchisee partnership. And what's in it for the franchisee partner? I have done a plus minus interesting analysis wherein the plus is with the founders are having the controlling stake. That means their vision will stay intact. Their vision of educating India will remain for a longer period of time. It will be sustained. That's the plus. The minus is usually only well-known brands will do the franchising route, but it's a kind of surprise that Expertrons has not been a very great established brand yet, but still they are trying their hand in franchising. So there are multiple reasons which I have identified. I will let you know that in a short while. And the next interesting thing is, although they are not a brand yet, but still they have a patent pending video bot driven by AI. Actually, this video bot connects the students and people who wants to make a career with the expert network, and the expert network is pretty tremendous and significant, wherein the best of the industries are part of it. The people from Bain, the people from major consulting companies, as well as people from major ITES companies are part of it. The definitely it's a great core competency networking the company has established actually. So that needs to be appreciated definitely. And moving on, the Expertrons is having partnership with academia such as AIME, State University of New York, and IIT Guwahati, as well as they are the authorized service, authorized education partner for Microsoft as well as Pearson VUE. So the interesting thing about this is Expertrons is trying to create an ecosystem like Coursera or EDX. Some other companies like Wiley and all, they do have partnership, but not to, but definitely not to the extent of Coursera and EDX, and definitely Coursera and EDX are really big, and Expertrons is trying to emulate such kind of thing. And one good thing about Expertron's investment is they are one of the investors from Expertron is Kunal Shah. Maybe he likes the business model of Expertron. That's the reason why Kunal Shah has done a kind of very good investment in that actually. And the hiring partnership, Expertrons is having hiring partnership with Kotak Mahindra, Motilal Oswal, Accenture, Cognizant, Capgemini, and Mahindra companies, which is a great thing. The what type of partnership I'm unable to validate, but however, the website says that they are having a partnership, and the logos of those companies are already displayed there actually. And very recently, Expertrons has gone on a kind of acquisition called as Foxmula. As I told before, Foxmula is a company which provides online self-paced learning, and they have already reached, trained more than 10,000 people. And so this particular core competency for this core competency is so appealing that Expertron has acquired that company. So the kind of acquisition that Expertron has done, the reason is because of the acqui hiring, which is nothing but acquisition for competency actually. So this is what the reason for Expertron's acquisition. Moving on, Expertron is offering three types of franchisee option. The biggest, the highest one is nothing but the Ruby franchise, which is basically costing 22.5 million INR, Indian rupees, plus GST for any investor, franchisee investor. And the revenue, it is a revenue sharing model, not a profit sharing model. The revenue sharing is the highest option, franchisee option. The revenue sharing is 60% for the franchisee partner and 40% for Expertron. And basically, there is also an option for cashback after a certain amount of maturity time reached, wherein 50% of the money invested will be provided as a cashback to the franchisee. That's the thing that I got from as an information after meeting with the relationship managers and all, because I really wanted to give a first-hand information, not just take the information from the websites. Rather, that's the reason I had a discussion with them also actually. And Expertron is having a total inventory of 75 self-paced courses and 10 courses, PGCP courses, postgraduate certification program courses in BFSI, and Pro MBA courses 3. And the MBA courses they're having some kind of tie-up with IIT Guwahati and all actually. So this end-to-end inventory, this franchisee partners can sell actually. So that's the best thing about the highest option, franchisee option. One thing about this is Expertron will be responsible for the product delivery, end-to-end delivery of the product. That means here franchisee partners will become more of a kind of marketing and sales partner who will go to the market, who will spread the good word about Expertron, who will try to, and based on that, the students will buy the course, and as a result, Expertron as well as the franchisee partner will get benefited out of it. And right now, Expertron claims that it's across the globe. But when I had a meeting with the relationship manager, he was saying that basically they need people across cities. And the first meeting they were saying Tamil Nadu, then they were saying Chennai region, and then I got a kind of input from the relationship manager, or as well as the director delivery, product delivery, saying that. Basically, there is no compete. So if somebody is taking a franchisee for Chennai region, they can very well go and take up make sales in the Mumbai region. They can bring students also. So end of the day, the whole idea is about penetrating the market. So they are looking for more franchisee partner who will spread the good word about them. And the tenuity of the contract is 4 years in the case of higher option. In the medium option is 3 years, and the lowest option is basically 2 years. And there is certain amount of referral bonuses that are provided actually. And Expertron will provide the end-to-end college promotions. They were saying that if you bring a qualified lead, we will take care of the rest. So these are some of the things. And then training and strategizing, like what type of product to position in the market and how to train the people, what type of interventions, all of this end-to-end thing will be taken care by Expertrons. The franchisee partner need not worry about it, right? So comparing that highest option with the moderate or franchisee option, then it is basically 1.5 billion INR plus GST, and the cashback is 25%. The inventory instead of 75 will be given access to 40, and the PGCP instead of 10 it will be 5, and there won't be any access to MBA courses. That means the moderate option, they cannot sell the bigger courses actually, right? So that's how it goes. So these are all some of the things that I received from the relationship managers, as well as the marketing, the product delivery director actually, right? So these are all the franchisee options, right? So I also got to hear from them when I had a discussion with them. They were quite flexible in nature, and they were mentioning that if at all you are going for a higher end option, this 4-year contract after paying the money, and then once the contract period is over, they are ready to extend the contract and without any upfront franchisee fee, but the revenue sharing clause will continue. So that kind of flexibility they are offering. And they are looking for a very long-term stable partner. That's what they were saying. And basically, they are talking about no clauses of no compete among the Expertron partner, franchise partner. That means no one is aligned to a specific geo. Rather, you can do the things. On the outside, it looks really exciting because the market is huge, and you can just go and really make some wonders there. But the biggest thing is this will lead to some kind of internal competition between the franchisee partner, and they may not end well, and this may hit the franchisee partners financially. Right, one will stand to gain, another might lose actually, but overall, Expertrons will have a benefit out of it actually. So these are all the plus and minus of having no cross of no compete among the partners actually, right? And there is no need for creating any formal office setup, it seems. But however, looking at the marketing needs and the need for interacting with the marketing people, it is important for any franchisee partner to set up a small office in a good place, so that it lends some professional atmosphere, and the people, there'll be a good conversation between the marketing people, all that, right? So definitely a market office setup is needed over here. That's my point of view. And during the discussions, what I heard is more about the B2Cs, like going to the colleges. Very less was spoken about the B2B. And I believe that entire idea of doing service for B2B is crystallizing. What I heard is they are having hiring partners, but basically not as an educational partner for many corporates, actually, because many corporates are also having some kind of educational partners wherein the company will do the sponsorship and employees can go and choose the courses offered by those partners actually. So that is not there yet. So that idea is getting crystallized from the Expertron side. So that means definitely there is a clear-cut established idea available how to position the market in B2C space, like business to consumer. But however, in the B2B space, they do not have a clear-cut idea how to place their product actually. But however, they are speaking about B2B actually. And during the whole discussion, the entire risk factors was not brought out actually. So someone who is very new to the business, they may get into this bait. But however, whoever is experienced with respect to choosing a business, investing in a business, definitely will be raising what are the risk factors over here. So I have done my due diligence qualitatively and quantitatively about the risk factors after considering the macro factors as well as after considering the qualitative and quantitative aspects of Expertrons as a company, actually. So I'm going to take you through all those risk factors, and then one biggest thing is about how Expertrons will be doing the cross sell and upsell. So upsell courses are there. For example, if someone is doing a course, self-paced course, and they can do a kind of upgradation to the MBA courses at a later stage. So that is there. But however, cross-selling, like for example, after education, is there anything else they can provide actually? Is there any kind of any other support they can provide? So that is not clearly evident apart from the expert network they are talking about. So nothing else more than that is coming. So that means if one student is enrolling at the start of the career, and when the student is progressing in the career, what are the other things they can provide? The Expertrons can provide. As a result, the franchisee will get benefited because that's where, right, they have become repeat customer, and more repeat customers will bring in more business, and that means more lifetime value, customer lifetime value will be there, right? So this particular point is they do not have a clear cut idea actually. So that means they are offering 75 online self-paced courses, and then 10 BFSC courses, and 10 3 MBA courses. This is all they have, and this is what they are selling. Okay, so certain amount of upgradation is there, but however, cross-selling, what other needs that particular customer is going to have, and how they can very well satisfy it. Those things did not come up really well, and they do not have a clear idea actually. It could be a reason that they are really focused in their approach, but still, what is a cross sell? They, if they can bring in, that could be an added proportion, because otherwise the hard-earned money of $2.5 million, $2.5 million INR franchisee partner is there putting, and for 4 to 8 years after that he's no more associated with the company. What is the benefit they are going to get from there actually, right? So definitely from a customer lifetime value angle, Expertron needs to crystallize their thought and have to come out with established list of services for the students, so that either way, the student community as well as the Expertron as a company as well as the franchisee partner, all the three will get benefited actually. So that needs to come out. So this is my point of view. And going to the ROIC, which is the most important. Okay, so what is the projection they gave to me, right? So I will take you through that. This is the projection I got, so but it's not very clear whether this is for the high end or is for the more moderate franchisee options, the low end. But this is the projection they are giving. The projection they are giving is this. How much, what's going to be the cost, right? So they're saying that manpower will be like starting the year one, quarter one, the manpower, we need 2 marketing people, and they each one will be paid 20K per month, 20K INR per month, right? So I'm not sure with 20K INR per month, what's the quality of people we are going to get, because why? The reason is we are talking about going to the college, convincing the management, convincing the students, and getting how many enrollments? 1 minute. They are talking about enrollments, bringing enrollments of 4 enrollments per person per month, right? That's what they're talking about. Four enrollments per person per month. So basically 12 people, 12 students per month, per quarter into 2 marketing people, that will give me 24 enrollments in the quarter one itself. I'm really not sure how we can do it, right? Because they're just paying them less. So I don't think for 20K we may get maybe 0 to 1 year experience. That's what we are going to get. And in that 0 to 1 year experience, what is that I can do, right? So that means from my perspective, definitely quarter one, I have to spend my time training these people about the edutech industry, how things works. I need to have an incentive system, not only salaries. I need to have an incentive system, and that incentive aspect is not brought in here at all in the projection, right? So this is one thing. And then I'm also having a marketing manager, which is pretty decent salary of 60K INR per month, which is a pretty decent salary. going by current inflation standards and all. But however, from my perspective, this particular person will be spending a lot of time in training the people. If the franchisee director is not going to do that, then definitely the sales manager has to do it. For that, I need to have an experienced sales manager to be part of this entire franchisee. And then that means I was thinking that, okay, sales manager, I can take him to the corporates. Probably they can sell the courses, and then these two people, they can go to the colleges. But looking at this, I don't think the sales manager can go anywhere during quarter one doing these things. So becoming productive from quarter one itself is not something that I believe is correct. And that means the projections that we have received is really, really inflated. So that needs to be understood actually, right? So, and then moving on, right? So that means the projections that are given here are really, not exactly reflecting the reality. And one more thing is, if you look into the kind of courses, the course structure, fee structure that we are talking about, they are talking about an average course fee of 65,000 rupees. That is 65K Indian rupees, with an year on year increase of 5% in the program fee, actually, right? So we are talking about going to the mass market, right? Because if you look into the number of people that we need to bring in, how many people you have to bring in? Basically, we need to bring in 192 people in a year, which is basically a mass market we are talking about. We're trying to go to the mass market. We are trying to do on a mass scale. So that means this is more about economy of scale. So when we are looking for economy of scale, that means as the product as the product is getting sold to a bigger, larger audience, that means I need to reduce my course fee. That's the whole idea. Okay, even if I'm not reducing, right? So after considering all the inflation, for how many years my course fee is going to remain constant? That's what I'm going to look at. So that means the strategy of going to the mass market, positioning the product to the mass market versus the pricing strategy adopted to reach is not in alignment with each other. That's what I'm trying to say. So that means the pricing strategy needs to be relooked at. If the company is trying to position its product to a niche segment, then accordingly we can say this is going to be the course fee, and then year on year 5 or 10% or 20% increase, right? So, for example, if you are having a Harvard course, which is like 20,000, 20,000 US dollars, and then that course year on year is having a 5% growth because it's for the niche segment. Here we are talking about students who are coming out fresh from the college, right? So that's the whole course is all about primarily. And then for the middle managers, we are having 3 MBA courses. So, but the primary sales, I believe, is going to be those 75 self-paced courses. And for that, if we are talking about average program fee of 65K INR per course, this is not in alignment with the strategy of product positioning, actually, right? So there needs to be some alignment, right? So I thought of doing some kind of net present value calculations, but looking at this inflated figure, definitely this is going to be a profitable proposition. But as I cautioned you, we cannot go by this figures. We need to bring in a lot of things. We need to bring in the office setup. We need to bring in the training cost, incentive structure, and I need to reduce the program fees, and I need to reduce the number of enrollments for the first few quarters. Based on that only, I can bring in the NPV actually. So kindly before investing, please do this homework and don't go by these revenue projections given to us, right? So moving on. So we have dealt in detail about the ROIs. Now let's get into the actual. So this is after this due diligence. I also have few other things. Let me go through this. I'm getting into the financial position of the company, right? So that would help me understand how stable the company is, right? So I need to be associated with a company that is there for a pretty much long time so that I get benefited from that, right? That's what I'm talking about. So I went through their earnings. Their earnings is not up to the mark. It has actually dipped very drastically. And as well as, I mean, when I say dipped, basically just improved marginally, but expenses have increased exponentially. That's what I'm trying to say. So their revenues have gone up a bit, but expenses are going up the roof, and they are all primarily they are going for current liabilities. That means they have a lot of short-term loans which they need to service, and their reserves and surplus have taken a big dip actually, half by 50%. So that means the operations cost is really high. So this is a big issue for them, I believe. And as I see here, they are in a major credit revolving mode. So that means they are getting the loans and they are getting revenues, and then they are paying back the old loan again. They are taking a new loan, so something like that. So they are in a major credit revolving mode, and they really need to do well actually, right? To sustain, they need to improve their top line, right? So the next one is all about their headcount, and their headcount to start with started with 36, and then it moved to 145, and now they are into 58 actually. So that means they have cut down their people drastically, but however their expenses have gone up. I believe they are forming a kind of formal organization structure, bringing in heads of the company and top management. They're forming some kind of pyramid. So definitely they are spending, as well as I believe they might be spending something uh, on the on the new bot, the bot AI they are having, right? So they may be spending on that, and as well as they have done a recent acquisition of Foxmula. Probably some of the employees they are retaining from there. So as a result, they have to pay more actually, right? So these are all some of the reasons why their expenses are up the roof. So this is not a mindless cost cutting. They are having some background about it, and definitely I have to cautiously appreciate that, because I really do not have a backing of where the money is exactly going. So whatever I have given is a kind of presumptive figures and the facts section. And moving on, how is their order book? Their order book is actually not doing well. It has dipped 50% down, and coming back, the company is having surplus tax paid year on year. So I'm not sure how it is. Like for example, if somebody is paying 5.2 crores during 2021, 2022, and again 10 crores as a surplus tax in 2022 and 23, I really need to get into this actually. So I don't have a background data, but this data I've taken from tracks 10. So I'm not sure about that, but however, this is one observation that I'm having. Year on year, they are paying surplus tax, right? So which is getting deferred as a result. They are this is changing their balance sheet also actually to a greater extent. Okay, this is having a great influence on the balance sheet of the company, which we must be aware of. So overall, the company also is having very low long-term assets. So as a result, they are unable to go through the secured loan funding route. So that means they are unable to take long-term loans. So that means their short-term loans will have they need to pay immediately. So that means that is putting a lot of pressure on them, I believe. And with the sales not so great and the expenses mounting day by day, the company is in dire need of cash right now. So overall, my whole, I mean, overall, the company needs cash now, right now. And if you look into the company, the founders are having a controlling stake of 50.6%. Others are having, these are all the share by other companies. And then I see the debt ratio, and ideally it should be within 36 percentage, 30 to 36, and maximum should be 40 percentage, but it is in 50 percentage range, which is not good for the company. Lot of debt they have taken. This is the whole idea. So overall, the company is not doing well in terms of finances. They need operational cash. They need money. They need to improve their top line. They are unable to reduce the operational expenditures because of the various initiatives they are having. And the company is depending mostly on the short-term loans rather than on the long-term loans. So this is one of the reason why they are going for a franchisee offering, because typically franchisee will be offered by any established brand only, but Expertron being a very recent startup, I mean, it has matured a bit because it's already 4 years. I would not call it as a startup, but still, it's a very small micro company. I would say 56 employees. So definitely, this is the reason why they are going for franchisee offering. Actually, so the overall financial position is not good. So I also looked into the founder stability and performance, because we cannot just go by the recent financial position of the company, right? What the founders are, what they have achieved, how stable they are in terms of their alignment to a particular company they are forming, right? So these are all some of the things which matters getting invested in a company, right? So I went through the entire thing, and let me start with Vivek Gupta. Vivek Gupta has brought out. I mean, he his first venture was Plansus Edu Solutions, so which is basically an online test preparation guiding platform for IITG and AIPMT exam aspirants. And this company got a kind of funding of 2 million US dollars. Later, it was acquired for 2 million US dollars by Career Point. Career Point PE is led by Franklin Templeton, and now Career Point has become a public limited company. That means the investors have made a successful exit, which is a great thing. And Plansus Edu Solution, since it is acquired, definitely Vivek Gupta, after a long tenure of 7 years, 11 months, has done a successful exit from Plansus Edu Solutions, which needs to be appreciated. And then going to Jatin Solanki has done this first venture is 1920 or 21, which is a e-commerce portal, in-house e-commerce portal for IIT Bombay students. Just like how Mark Zuckerberg has created the Facebook initially for his internal college students, right? So same way, this 1920 or 21 is basically around that concept only. So that means the retailing of those e-commerce aspects are available only to the IIT Bombay students actually. And this was acquired by M. Sauda, and Jatin was associated with this company for less than 1 year. And the acquisition amount is not disclosed anywhere actually. And there is no mention of any tangible IP or asset getting transferred during this acquisition. And going to the Shoodle, so Shoodle is his second venture. Now the company is debt cooled, and the founder Jatin Solanki has exited after 1.75 years, 75 years, and there is no sign of acquisition anywhere. And the third one is EduFin. EduFin is a gamified learning. It's basically it's a company. Is not sure whether it's functional, but the founder Jatin Solanki has exited this company after 4.5 years. It has received a funding of 28.5 million US dollars, and the post-money valuation of this company is $251 million on paper. And however, unfortunately, the company is having only 2 employees right now. So I don't think this $251 million was ever really realized by the investors. So this is about the founders' stability and performance. Overall, the founders have tried their entrepreneurship aspirations in multiple ventures, and some of them were successful, quite successful. Few of them have vanished without a trace, actually. So this is the overall perspective from the stability and performance of the founders in their past entrepreneurship ventures. And moving on, I'm also looking into the industry outlook. So far we went through many things, right? We went through the financial position of the company. We also went through the founder's profile and the thing, right? So based on that, we came out with many things. One important thing I thought of saying is this entire franchisee route is not only because the company needs money, it's also because um, they don't have money, and also they cannot get further funding because the company is actually is trying to find its foot, right? So unless the valuation of the company is perceived as bigger than the current valuation of $29.1 million, it's difficult to get a valid kind of funding from the investors. So that means even if the investor is going to fund it, then the controllership of the company will not be with the with the founders, because right now they are just holding 50.3%, and at any point in time the majority stake will be lost, right? So that's the biggest problem they are currently having actually. So that's the reason I presume is they are taking a kind of franchisee route in addition to improving their top line actually, right? So it's a kind of short-term tactical strategy that is adopted by them for the sake of raising money much faster and getting into the market much faster through multiple hands of support actually, right? So that's how I see this actually. But this is not enough, right? So right now the company is not doing well, but just by current performance we cannot judge the future performance also. We need to consider many macro factors, how the company is going to do based on those movement in the macro factors. And also that's the reason I have done a kind of industry outlook analysis using something called a pestle tool. So based on the pestle tool I have arrived at around 6 or 7 key points, which would help us understand where the company has to really focus, and what are the areas that will be impacted by them, impacting them, and where they are right now in terms of that actually, right? Whether they are doing well in comparison to that known changes, macro factors, or how, right? So that's what I have done. So this analysis, if you look into, the first important thing is the need for setting up offline capabilities. That's currently done by Vedantu, Unacademy, Physics Bala. Likewise, many edutech companies have started doing it because they have realized that online is not enough. Offline capabilities also needs to be there actually. So that means with the Expertrons currently having issue in raising cash, in running the operations, and they are bringing in franchisee partner. That means when there is an imminent need to set up offline capabilities, or that means they're setting up training centers, physical training centers, that means definitely the franchisee partners at certain point in time must be expected or will be expected to invest in that actually. So we need to be mentally prepared. Any franchisee partner thinking that, okay, I will just invest 25, 2.5 million INR plus GST, that's it. No, more is expected from you. Apart from setting up your own marketing office, you also will be expected in the future because of the changes in the business environment. There is a need to set up training offices. So definitely it will be a kind of pressure, additional pressure on the franchisee partners actually. So there is a huge probability people with money will be able to survive. People without money will have to raise money somehow, or they have to exit the business actually, right? So exiting the business, that means if you there are certain penalty clauses that might be applicable, which is not given in the contract, but you must be aware of it before you take up any decision. So this is one risk I see in this. The second thing is how well the company is prepared, because AI generated content is going to come. That's going to dramatically customize the way how students wants to learn, because each student are unique, so their learning can be customized based on the AI generated content, based on the type of questions they are raising, or if the courses can be time and again, whether they can be modified. All these things can be done through the AI generated content itself, the generative AI aspect itself. So right now there is no pointers coming from Expertrons that they are having this capability actually. So that means the company is not prepared for this onslaught. Probably bigger companies may come in and they may show it as their competitive advantage, saying that we have AI generated content. So that means if a particular person is unable to learn to a certain method, then an alternate method or an alternate questioning, different questioning, any student can raise, and accordingly the AI generated content will deliver the training accordingly. So that could be one competitive aspect which may differentiate the company with the generative AI versus a company without generative AI actually. So that's going to be a problem for Expertrons in the future, right? So they are not prepared yet. So the next one is, if you look into the investment landscape, Expertrons, of entire edutech, right? So between 2021 and 2021 as a year, and again 2022 as a year, they got respectively $4.73 billion and $2.74 billion as startup funding. But during the year 2023, not 2022, it's 2023. During that time period, they have got a kind of input of $0.297 billion as funding actually. Okay, so I have given you the sources with the links. Basically, I have taken this from INC 42, the Mint, CNBC, India Today, Contact, Contracts and Commercials. So all of them are from pretty correct, pretty authentic websites. So this is a good data, I would say. So definitely, this is one of the reason I see that Expertrons have taken the franchisee route. So the first one is, they cannot, they cannot get this funding easily. And even if they get the funding, Expertron founders will be losing their controlling stake. So these are all some of the reasons why they have taken a franchisee route actually, right? So they are in need of money right now. But definitely, if you feel there is other than whatever I have said, if you feel other capabilities, so find out by yourself and decide by yourself whether to invest in the company or not. Actually, the next one is all about. This is something very very beneficial to Expertron because government has announced a kind of internship and upskilling program for 1 crore. 1 crore means like 10 million youths of India in the next 5 years, which is basically it's going to be a bonanza for Expertron. So that means some amount of funding and support, right? Grants can come from the Indian government or from their associates and all actually. So this is going to be one area which will be this can be well utilized by Expertrons actually. So the next one is all about the economic survey, which says that only 51.25% of the employees are, of students are employable, which is basically the primary thing that is driving this upskilling program and internship program. So definitely, there's a lot Expertron can do by in the way of educating the people. So definitely, this is one area which is a favorable aspect for Expertron. And the last one is all about selling the product correctly, right? So pricing, transparency, and authentic educational claim, saying that this will fetch you so much salary job, or you'll get a job immediately, because Expertron is saying 100 percentage uh, uh, assistance program, like job placements, 100 percentage job placements in few of the MBA courses and all. We are not very sure how true it is, because nowadays even certain IIT people also, they are not having jobs. They are finding it difficult to get jobs. That's what I see in the market. So how much that 100 percentage job assistance is of use to people, I'm not sure. So this is some areas that EduTech as well as Expertron as an EduTech company has to take care of themselves actually. And then we are also talking about pricing transparency and refund policies. What is the refund policies and compliance to data protection? For example, I was talking about cross-selling, upselling, and all, right? So, what type of facilities will be brought in by Expertron so that they are complying to the data protection laws of the students, as well as they are also cross-selling and upselling their products. This remains to be seen actually. So overall, to summarize, Expertron as a company, they are having financial issues. Their sales have gone up marginally. Their expenses have doubled, probably because of the investments they have made and because of the new pyramid structure they are bringing in. And they have cut down people from 145. Now, right now, they are having 58 people. Some of them might have got added from the newly acquired company. And their founders, out of their two founders, plans is EduTech is one of the most profitable proposition they have ever worked on. Basically, Expertron has received nearly 6.8 million US dollars, and they have a post money valuation of 29.1 million US dollar. and they cannot raise more money because of the issues with the investments landscape. It has dried up right now because tech is not doing well. They're not getting very good funding. So this is the reason why they have taken a franchisee route. And also, even if the Expertron is going for more funding, then the controllership of the founders will be impacted. As a result, the vision will also be impacted. So these are some of the things we need to take into consideration, and as well as Expertron courses, these course, I mean their pricing strategy compared to their product positioning strategy, they are not in alignment with each other. We need to be a bit careful about it. And also the ROI sheet really needs a lot of rethink, and also there is a need for opening up the offline capability centers, right? So offline training centers and a few other things like AI generated things are going to disrupt. So how Expertron will differentiate themselves is remaining to be seen. One big differentiator that currently Expertron is having is that, I mean, video bot, right? Which basically connects the aspirants with the industry experts who are from Bain and other consulting as well as with other IT established IT companies, where so that they can get kind of career guidance actually. So before you sign the deal, please look into all these aspects, consider, and please do your homework with respect to net present value. Please do your homework with respect to how you are going to position it, how you are going to train your marketing people, what type of incentive structure you are going to have. Please look into all of this before you really make a decision. So thank you so much. Thanks for your time. And you can always drop your verdict about Expertron as well as about my analysis in YouTube and LinkedIn. And thank you so much for your support. Actually, thanks.